And the Ohio National Guard was conducting maneuvers down here, and they were setting off mortars flying over our tent. They didn't know we were there. Now, this is tricky because you don't want to go too far because it's hard to turn a motorcycle around here. All right, as you can see, this is a really nice ride back down this lane on top of this peninsula. And the view to my right is just beautiful. So I'm fortunate. I have a big area that I can ride in where I'm not encountering much traffic. So there's the lake over there. Oh, beautiful, calm fall day on the lake. Aha, I see two boats. It's too cold. It's too cold and I'm too old. Let's put it that way. Yeah, fossil collecting by permit only. Free permit available at the visitor center. Yeah, I used to come down here years ago when I got my first drone, and I would practice flying it in this field. Yeah, classic Americana with this town. All right, off we go to Caesars Creek. This is, what the heck day is it? November 7th, I think we're up to already. Geez, a week into November. That's something. But nice weather. I think it's like 55-ish. And you can see pure sun. I don't think the wind's too bad. We'll find out once I get going. But, a nice day to ride. And of course, as the season goes on, those will become fewer and further in between. Okay, so we're clear of town now. You know, it's a small Ohio city, so not a whole lot of traffic, but it's the most traffic that I usually ever drive in. Usually I'm either getting out of my suburban neighborhood or I'm riding on a 2-lane rural road similar to this. And this is what it is all the way from the rest of the way down to the state park. So I'm fortunate. I have a big area that I can ride in where I'm not encountering much traffic, almost ever. So anytime I want to take a ride, I can hop on. So I put on all the gear and I hop on and I go for a ride. I've got things set up now where it doesn't take me, I mean, I can, from the time the idea hits me to take a ride until I'm on the bike pulling out of the driveway is, 10 minutes or so. Get the gear on. If I'm going to record like I'm doing now, it might take me an extra 5 minutes to rig everything. But of course, most rides I don't record. I just go out and ride for the enjoyment of riding. And so it's not too onerous to gear up. I literally keep the bike, pointed out of the garage. So I just gear up, go out, turn the key, crank it over, make sure I have gas, which I always do because I think I'm like most people, I gas up at the end of a ride, so I'll have a full tank when I take off the next time. And then I go. And I ride year-round, obviously a lot less in the winter. For me, with the gear I have, which, I don't have super expensive gear, but I can ride comfortably down to, about 40 degrees. And by that I mean, that's, going up to 55, 65 miles an hour. I can be comfortable down to 40. Less than that, I'd have to buy heavier gear, and honestly, it isn't worth it to me. Because at the latitude I'm at here in southwest Ohio, you get, even in December, January, February, and on into March, you'll get several days per month, unless it's an unusual year, that are, 40 degrees or above, and the roads are in good condition. So I ride every month of the year. And always enjoy it. Obviously you enjoy it a lot more if it's sunshiny and 75 rather than if it's overcast and 40, but I always enjoy it. Like today, I think it's in the low 50s. It might be 55, but pure sunshine, so it's enjoyable. So right now, we are actually out on a peninsula. I'll try to drop in a overhead shot of Google Maps or something so you can see it. But whenever I need to get away, and I'm over here, and I want to get out of the hustle and bustle, I'll come out on this little peninsula. Most people come down here because this is the trailhead for the mountain bike trail here in the state park. And so you do see some cars down here, usually Subarus with bike racks on them. Nope, no Subarus today. What do we have? A couple of trucks, yeah. 2 Fords. Anyway, that's where the mountain bike trail begins. And I guess it's something else if you're into mountain biking. But I go on down here. There's a beautiful viewpoint looking over the lake, which is going to be right into the sun right now. But we're out on or nearing the furthest point of the peninsula. Now this is tricky because you don't want to go too far because it's hard to turn a motorcycle around here. I have to swing way over this way. Watch what the heck I'm doing and then park here because this is the only flat ground there is. This literally was a country road, and when they dammed Caesars Creek in 1975 and it backed up, this is where the road ended. So you used to be able to drive across there. When I was a teenager back in the 70s, I used to camp on what is now the bottom of the lake. So it's nostalgic for me to come down here. I remember, let's see, it was the night Nixon resigned. So that was, August the 9th, 1974, which must have been a weekend because my friend and I were camping here at Caesars Creek. And the Ohio National Guard was conducting maneuvers down here, and they were setting off mortars flying over our tent. They didn't know we were there. We were 16-year-old kids, and they didn't know we were there. How could they have? And it was quite the experience. But it was the night Nixon resigned because of Watergate. I don't really know exactly where that would be out here in the lake, but that camping spot is now on the bottom of the lake somewhere. In the spring, the water will come up so much that literally it will lap here. It will go clear up here, and that's quite a drop-off. I'm guessing it's 15 feet. So this is the indelicate part of this, doing a very severe left-hand turn to get up out of here because you don't really have any turning room, and this is always a real sporting event. Getting out of here, you have to really watch what you're doing or you end up dumping the bike. All right. We escaped again. But there's no way to do that and look cool because it is feet out and protecting yourself from falling. Okay, here we go. Alright, as you can see, this is a really nice ride back down this lane on top of this peninsula, and the view to my right is just beautiful. Especially with the bright sun and it's a little bit past peak with the colors, but they're still pretty good. So, a nice ride through here. Even though it's in the low 50s, I still have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers on. Under Armour, thick LL Bean flannel shirts. Let's see, I have my insulation layer, my vapor layer, and then of course the jacket on top of that. Yeah, 5. And it's chilly. It's comfortable, but yeah, you can feel it. It's cold. So we're at the state park. We're on one of the state park roads, a very steep one. And I'll try to put the telemetry data up on if I use this clip. But we're going behind the levee, or the dam, behind the spillway that comes through here. And I'll swing around and, well, you can kind of see it. It'll come behind me here. Just a great state park. They put this park in exactly 50 years ago. It's 1975. I don't know if it was completed then or they started it then, but this is its 50-year anniversary. Yeah, there's the fishing pier out over the river. Horrible time of day to film, but that's generally when I ride. This is the warmest part of the day here in a week into November, so I'm not going to be riding at dawn or dusk. It's too cold. It's too cold and I'm too old. Let's put it that way. Anyway, there's the gigantic. This was built by the Army Corps of Engineers. Let me pull over here and we'll get a good look at it. Yeah, there it is. I don't know how tall that thing is, but it's massive. And it's interesting because you can see they mow it. It's got grass on this side, and they run a lawnmower back and forth across that thing, you know, laterally. And I don't know. I don't think I would do it. I don't know what the pitch on that is, but it's considerable. But you can see the tracks. Some of them are going vertical, but most of them are horizontal. So, you know, you come down here in the spring, or, you know, anytime after it rains a lot, and man, the water that comes through that tunnel right up there, it just is something else. Just the power of it, and it is loud. But anyway, that's the Caesars Creek levee. I don't know if they call it a levee or a dam, but it's the thing that dammed up Caesars Creek and backed up the lake behind it. I think it's one of the larger recreational lakes in Ohio. It's not the biggest, but it's a fairly decent sized one. So just a minute ago, literally 2 minutes ago, we were behind this levee to my right, and now we're driving on top of the levee. So there's the lake over there. Oh, beautiful, calm fall day on the lake. And then down there is where we just were. Aha, I see two boats. I don't know how the fishing is in November. Maybe it's good, because, you know, the water's cold again, and I know fish tend to bite more when it's cold than when it's warm. So that's the way it is on my lake up north. Can't catch anything in August, but man, May and June, it's nice. Okay, so this is the, I don't know, the spill area, or the overflow area. They call this the flats. And I'll swing through here. It's kind of odd looking. It's neat looking. But I mean, you'd swear kind of like, I know you can't tell it from this camera, but it's like you look out there and you're in a desert or something. Yeah, fossil collecting by permit only. Free permit available at the visitor center. Yeah, I think I mentioned in an earlier video, this is a famous area for fossil collecting. I don't know, you know, if it's really great for fossil collecting or not. It must be, because it's, people come here and do it, and they've done it for 50 years. Yeah, I used to come down here years ago when I got my first drone, and I would practice flying it in this field because there's no lines or anything. It's a big area, and, you know, if it goes down, you have at least a chance of finding it. But I was lucky. I never had any problems, and I learned to maneuver that thing here. Yeah, some nice twisties in here that are a lot of fun to glide around. You can see I don't take them very fast. What am I doing? 40 something. Yeah, I don't carve the curves too well. You know, if I was 30, maybe I would. Maybe not. Okay, so we'll head into, I think maybe this is the second most used boat ramp. This is the one I always liked. I had a big boat when my boys were young, and we would always launch here because you're launching and it's just in front of the, you know, where the dam is, and you're not on the main part of the lake, which is fine. So you're not launching into traffic, and I never had to wait too long here, or at all. And you've got time to, you know, get your boat rigged and get it out in the water and kind of get things settled before you get out onto the big water. And so I always like to launch here. Okay, so here's the Wellman Meadows ramp. So they've got 2 slots. Actually 4, because you can do 2 boats in each of those simultaneously. So theoretically, if everybody is skilled, you can launch and retrieve 4 boats simultaneously here. And they still have the docks in. I don't know, they do pull those out during the winter. I don't really know when, maybe later in December or something. Certainly before there's any ice on the lake. But, yep. Wellman Meadows ramp. Goodness, it's beautiful out on the lake today. Nice. So as you can see, even on November the 7th, there's quite a few boats out on the lake. Again, it's in the low 50s, so it's not too bad. Well, you come down here in the summer, and I've actually never seen this lot full, but I've seen it close to being full. Even, you know, on a weekday. Come down here on a weekend, and they probably have filled it. But it's a wonderful facility, very easy to park, and very easy to launch your boat here. And it's a nice place to ride your Triumph motorcycle. So we're in the little, well, it calls itself the antiques capital of the Midwest, and there's some legitimacy to that claim because it's just one antique store after another, up one side of the street and down the other. And it's a lot of fun to come to Waynesville. There's a couple good restaurants here, and again, you can just wander in and out of the antique stores and reminisce and delve in nostalgia all afternoon long. And then another cool thing about it is we're just a few minutes from the Caesars Creek State Park, and so you can pop over there and ride around. Yeah, classic Americana with this town. And they have a couple ice cream stores here. There's a McDonald's at the end of town. So anything you want, you can get here.